is the highest honor one can achieve in the game of basketball. Fans all over the world come here to see who is the greatest to ever touch the hardwood. Now, a new group of players and contributors get their spot in the Hall of All Halls.
You wanna be great now.
Dwight Howard, arguably the best big man in the game.
Superman is in the building.
Howard, he was a terror in this league.
Another Defensive Player of the Year award. The first player to earn the honor 3 consecutive seasons.
You talk about a walking bucket.
We dare you to give this life all you have.
Sue Bird becomes the all-time winningest player in WNBA history.
We are legendary. We are not ordinary.
Florida, back-to-back and unforgettable.
Congratulations to Mickey Harrison and to fans of South Florida.
Maya, one of the greatest WNBA players of all time.
We're witnessing greatness.
One shot to take. Don't miss, just miss.
Tonight, these legends will be enshrined in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame forever.
To live life legendary. Yeah, we are legendary.
From Symphony Hall in Springfield, Massachusetts, please welcome your host for the 2025 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame Enshrinement Ceremony, Emmy Award winner and Hall of Famer, Ahmad Rashad.
Good evening, everybody. See, we got people still taking their seats. Let me say, it really is a pleasure to be with you all again and celebrate the best in basketball. And tonight, we enshrine the newest members of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, the class of 2025. Now, basketball has been evolving ever since Dr. Naismith drew up the 13 original rules and hung the peach baskets. The greats of the game took it from there. Now, I've been doing this for quite a few years, and when it comes to the class of 2025, it's hard to remember a more amazing or incredible group. We've got gifted scorers. We've got fierce defenders. We've got brilliance on the bench and in the boardroom. We've also got one of the greatest referees and one of the greatest international squads that was ever assembled. And when it comes to playing point guard, yeah, the class of 2025 has got that covered too. So get ready for another historic night right here in Springfield. Now, every year, this room comes alive with basketball royalty. There is Lynette Woodard, the first woman to ever play for a professional men's team when she signed with the Harlem Globetrotters. There's my main man, Patrick Ewing. My other main man, Tim Hardaway, looks like he's still got skills. And there's also one of my all-time favorite players. What's up, Coop? She's a 4-time WNBA Finals MVP, Cynthia Cooper. And could anybody ever do it any better than my other main man, AI, Allen Iverson? He's sitting here somewhere. Where's Allen? Now, I haven't gotten about you, Julius. I know you're right over there. But my other guy I'm looking at is Gary Payton, who was also great, but he's looking at me funny, so let's get on with the show. Now, as I like to remind you all every year, there will be a bunch of tall tales told tonight. But I must remind you, there's a pretty good chance that some of them might even be true. So let's get started. Now, when Sylvia Fowles was just 5 years old, she already knew what she wanted to be when she grew up, a mortician. That's what I said, a mortician. Now, I know I just warned you about tall tales, but this one's really true. The youngest of 5 children, Sylvia was given a great deal of responsibility by her mother at an early age because her mom saw so much potential in Sylvia's desire to make sure everyone around her was good. Now, Sylvia didn't even begin to take basketball seriously until she was already in the 8th grade. But once she did, the sky was the limit. Given a task to complete, she never disappointed. And that's why in 2015, when she was in her first championship run and was honored as the WNBA Finals MVP, she was also enrolled in mortuary school.
Strength, finesse, IQ on both ends, beautiful footwork around the rim.
I mean, one of the greatest to ever play this game.
A 3-time All-American at LSU, Fowles led the Lady Tigers to the Final Four every season of her collegiate career.
Sylvia Fowles was a pain to guard at LSU.
Coach Summit would always tell us, like, okay, you got to stay up the lane and try to deny and not let her duck you in. And you're like, okay.
Selected by the Chicago Sky with the #2 overall pick of the 2008 draft, Fowles quickly became known as a hard-nosed inside scorer, a tenacious rebounder, and an elite rim protector.
Sylvia Fowles says, get out of here, Miss Leslie.
The league hadn't really seen anybody at that size, you know, dominate the way she did. And she'd have 2 or 3 people hanging on her, but she was just so strong and so relentless.
Traded to Minnesota, Fowles transformed the powerful Lynx into a dynasty. She won Finals MVP in 2015 and again in 2017, when she was also named League MVP.
That year, Seal just came in, she was like, I'm the best, I'm gonna be the best, and I'm gonna show everybody that I am the best. Her ability to just take control and say, look, I'm leading the way and this is what we're gonna do.
Playing for USA Basketball, Fowles was a key member of 4 gold medal winning squads. Sylvia Fowles was a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year and retired as the WNBA's all-time career leader in rebounding.
She's the epitome of a 5 that you want to start your franchise with.
Welcoming Sylvia to the Hall of Fame are a pair of teammates from the WNBA's top 25 of all time, Katie Smith and Lindsay Whalen. Please welcome Sylvia Fowles.
Blessings to the high, and good evening, everyone. It is a beautiful sight to be standing here in front of you as an Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer, something I could never have imagined. It feels surreal, and it's hard to express this moment. It means to me fully. I'm standing here tonight because of the life-changing God people has placed along my life. Mom, you are the backbone that keeps me strong. To my sister Toya, thank you for being my biggest fan, my protector, and loving me. To my brothers Morris, Walter, and Jeremy, you taught me mental toughness. You helped me understand that you helped me understand that nothing comes easy and that I had to work for everything that I wanted. Your presence and your support has rooted me for life. Basketball would not exist without the persistence of Coach Armstrong, Coach Rusty, and Mr. Darnell. They hound me almost every day for 2 years straight to play basketball. I tried basketball after putting up a good fight my 8th grade year. It was a life-changing moment for an inner-city kid with no real dreams. By the end of my 8th grade year, my name had gained some traction. One day I was called to the front office. I was hyped because I thought it was my mom picking me up early. I made it to the office and it was Coach Novak with two of our top players from Miami Edison Senior High, Shalonda and Florence. They was the first to help me visualize basketball many opportunities. They helped me turn raw potential into something special. To my Miami Edison crew, Coach Novak, Crow, Moore, and Roger, thank you for laying the foundation and teaching me the fundamentals of the game. You instilled in me a championship mindset and the ability to compete without fear. To my AAU teams, the Hollywood Eagles and the Miami Suns, those years were crucial in shaping me. Thank you for challenging me every weekend to be better than I was the weekend before. To my Cuban papas, Miguel, Obel, Torres, and Lou, you all stepped up and played that fatherly figure role when I needed the most. You taught me that family does not have to be blood. Thank you for taking care of me. To Gulliver Prep, thank you for allowing me to be authentically myself. Transitioning from public school to a private school was not easy. Ms. K, thank you for the opportunity to represent Gulliver. Coach Armstrong and Coach Didi, thank you for allowing me to lead. To my best friends, Tanya, Ashley, Crystal, and Karima, thank you for holding me accountable, and thank you for keeping me grounded. To LSU, what a fantastic ride we had. Playing for LSU was one of the best decisions of my life, and that decision was primarily because of Sue Gunner. People often ask me why I chose LSU, and it was because of Sue's honesty. Other coaches said everything during my home visit, and Sue told me the truth. She told me that I was a good player, but if I continued to work hard, that I would be great. She didn't promise me a starting spot. She told me I had to work for it. See, that resonated with me. It reminded me of how I was raised. Nothing was ever given, but it was earned. I knew LSU was the right fit for me. To Coach Starkey, thank you for teaching me that there's more than life than just basketball. You helped me understand who I am off the court counts and matters as much as it do on it. Coach Berry, thank you for becoming my mom away from home. You taught me the importance of taking care of myself, not just as an athlete, but a young Black woman navigating a complex world. Thank you for everything. Coach Christie, Pokey, Travis, Yolanda, and Coach Van, thank you. To the Chicago Sky organization, thank you for 6 unforgettable seasons. You allowed me to show the world who I am. To the Alta family, Margaret, and the city of Chicago, thank you for embracing me with open arms. To the Minnesota Leagues, damn, we did that. Thank you for challenging me and helping me elevate my game. Weezy, Money, Maya, BB, Nay, Asia, and Gia, you taught me how to compete at a high level year after year. Thank you, Mr. Glenn Taylor, for being the best owner an organization could ever wish for. Thank you for your time and your commitment to us ladies over the years. I love you so much. Coach Rebo, Shell P, Jim Pete, and James, thank you. Thank you, USA Basketball, for all the wonderful years of representing my country and helping me compete at the high level with the world's greats. A special thank you to Nike, who has been by my side since high school. Representing you on and off the court has been an honor. Lindsay Kagawa Colas, thank you for guiding me through the business side of the sport when it matters most. Tracy, thank you for being exactly who you are, someone whom I genuinely look up to and highly respect. You're a real one. To my Clutch family, Jade, Corey, Sierra, Elle, Winston, and Kayla, thank you for new beginnings, new opportunities, and helping me see things from a different perspective. Thank you to the countless teammates, coaches, team managers, trainers, doctors, PR, marketing, and media members who helped me. To the Hall of Fame board, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I wouldn't be here today without your vote. To the WNBA, you have given me a platform and an opportunity to showcase my talent for 15 incredible seasons. Lastly, to the Hall of Fame inductees tonight, it is an honor to share the stage with you. You all are inspiring. Thank you and God bless.
Superman is a superhero who was sent to Earth by his parents to benefit humanity. Now, legend has it that he arrived with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Now, as far as faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound, you can make a very strong case that Superman sure sounds a lot like Dwight Howard.
Superman, Dwight Howard, is in the house.
One of the things that grew with Dwight was his dominance.
Oh, he reaches way back for that baby.
When he was young, he was always in a fun-loving, high-spirited way. But then he hit the court and he turned it to something else.
Devoured by Howard. He is just a force of nature.
Drafted first overall in 2004 at the age of 18, Dwight Howard made an immediate impact.
Hang on, hold the children. Slam Dwight Howard.
My first impressions with Dwight, you know, just the explosion, the athleticism.
Oh, man! You gotta be kidding me! Howard wins the game!
And the desire to want to be great. He had expectations that he was going to be the best big in the game.
An 8-time All-NBA selection, including 5 years in a row as a first-teamer, Howard also was a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year.
With his athleticism and strength, he really, truly dominated games.
Nice play from Howard. Howard comes up with a steal. Can they still get it? Yep. Good hustle. It's Nelson. Alley-oop. Oh! That was all Dwight Howard.
Dwight thrived in the spotlight, soaring to victory in the 2008 Slam Dunk Contest. And a year later, he put his team on his back, leading the Orlando Magic to the NBA Finals.
The Magic eliminated the team with the best record in the NBA.
Howard was also a standout on the United States men's basketball team, winners of the 2008 Olympic gold medal. And late in his career, he played a key role in winning an NBA title.
And that's it. This historic 2020 NBA championship belongs to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Dwight is probably up there with some of the best two-way players that we've ever had in our league.
His legacy will be this ferocious, playful player and personality. He was going to be a problem and do it with a smile. That was special.
Welcome, Dwight, to the Hall of Fame of 4 all-time greats: Shaquille O'Neal, Patrick Ewing, Dominique Wilkins, and Robert Parrish. Let's hear it for Dwight Howard.
Hey, before I start, let me get this on out the way. Let me say this. My dad made a bet that I was gonna not stick to the script, and he was already right. I didn't stick to it from the beginning, so you're right, Daddy. Thank you. All right, man, wow. I really can't believe this, man. And I'm just so blessed to be able to stand here in front of all of you, honored as one of the greatest basketball players ever. First, I want to thank God, because without him, none of this would be possible. He has shown me time and time again what miracles look like, even before I was formed. When my mother lost 7 children, and he allowed me to bring sunshine into her life. Pops, Mom, I am an extension of you. I always have, and I always will be. You instilled in me a faith in God and a belief in myself that has made me who I am. Pops, when I was 10, I said, I know I can be the #1 pick in the NBA draft, and you believed in me as much as I did, but you wanted me to commit to it. I wrote down my goals and I placed them above my bed along with my cross. and you helped me work to achieve those goals day after day. Look at how life works. Pops, Mom, your son is in the Hall of Fame. And I'm able to be walked out here by some of the greatest NBA legends ever. So first I want to shout out to the Chief. The Chief, my grandma used to love the Chief. So I want to give you a shout out for walking me out. You also, my first year in the league, we went down to IMG and you was one of my biggest inspirations, so thank you. Shout out to Bill Russell. May he rest in peace. This year marks 50 years since his enshrinement. Your book, Russell Rules, allowed me to understand the game at a whole different level. That book taught me about leadership and the importance of staying committed to my goals. Also, rest in peace to Kembe Mutombo. One of the greatest defenders and shot blockers ever. No, no, no! You motivated me to challenge and battle for every shot, so thank you. Kareem, I wish you could be here because you are my GOAT. You are the only player in NBA history to have 2 Hall of Fame careers, one as Lou Alcindor and the other as Kareem. I'm gonna get me a new name to come back and play, y'all. Remember that. Dennis Rodman, I know you couldn't make it here today, but you're one of my favorite players all time and the greatest rebounder ever. Watching you help me lead the league in 5 times, it made sure every time I dominated the glass. Dominique, seeing you here at my first high school game made me believe that my NBA career and my dream was at reach. So thank you for inspiring me. Patrick Ewing, not only were you my coach, but you was my mentor in Orlando. In every game I wanted to win so I could just walk around and do like this. Yeah. There we go. Just being in your presence pushed me to want to be a great center, knowing that I was being coached by one of the greatest centers of all time. Shaq. We did not always see eye to eye, but in hindsight, I believe it was just sibling rivalries. We are brothers in this fraternity of basketball, and sometimes brothers fight over the stupidest stuff. I really blame Soulja Boy, y'all. He was you. But I just want y'all to know that the 2 original Superman is in the building today, and it's an honor to have you walk me out into this arena of greatness. My hoop dreams began with nothing more than a basketball in my imaginations. Me and my brother, we didn't have a basket. It was just me and him in the street doing the shaking game while my sister was trying to cook some ramen noodles and bologna, telling us to come inside and eat, Dwight. That game helped me to become a great defender and a complete player. Some people don't know this, but I was a 5'9" point guard until I broke my leg. That's why they say break a leg. But I knew early on that my talent would not take me that far. So that's why I was up out of bed every morning at 4 a.m. working on my greatness. So I want to give a shout out to Corey McCray if he's in here. He was on the track with me and my pops every day. Deion Glover and Big Ant for coming from the strip club straight to the gym to help me work out. So I appreciate y'all too, wherever y'all at. Deion, you still smell like a little Hennessy, but thank you. I'm sorry, I love y'all. Because of this, I was growing as a person, but also as a player. So I want to give a shout out to the people who helped me out during this time. My church, Fellowship of Faith Christian International Church in East Point, Georgia. My school, Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy, which I attended from kindergarten, y'all, all the way into my senior year. Go Warriors. I want to give a big thank you to Pastor Wayne C. Thompson and Geraldine Thompson for believing in us and instilling faith in us every day. I still hear your voice, Sister Jerry, saying, be great and walk in greatness, reminding me to be great in everything that I do. Shout out to Coach Courtney Brooks. I know you in the building. I seen those braids. You're getting some hang time, so thank you. Thought you was going to be bald like me and my pops. Pops, I love you. Your warrior workouts helped me get into the NBA. I want to shout out Wallace Prather. May you rest in peace, the originator of the Atlanta Celtics, who helped me attain my goal to become the #1 player in the nation. I was that little engine that could. That was my favorite book and my greatest inspiration. Like that little engine that could, I used to repeat to myself, I think I can. Eventually it became, I know I can. And in 2004, I heard my name called as the #1 pick in the draft. Just as I wrote it down when I was 10. But the roller coaster was just beginning. Here I was, a young man, 18-year-old, a small town, a small church, and suddenly, now I'm playing in the NBA. I'm the face of a franchise, and I'm playing in front of the whole world. And I'm facing legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Kevin Garnett. These are my favorite players growing up. Imagine playing against KG and you getting to fight in one of your first games. One of these many learning lessons that I had in those early days of my career. Stan Van Gundy, I don't know if you're here. Is he here? There you go. Oh, man. Y'all know I got to do it later, but hey, Stan, I just want to say because of you, I am in the Hall of Fame. And as I've said before, there is no Dwight Howard without Stan Van Gundy. You taught me what it means to stay ready. I still remember in the playoffs, you had us doing plays for guys that never even got in the game. And I remember you saying, listen, you never know. You never know. I mean, listen. But you was right, Stan. In basketball and in life, you gotta stay ready. Y'all look crazy. All right, that's the last one, Stan. That's it. Also, a lot of, to my teammates, especially my vets who helped me out when I first started. Stacey Ogman, Tony Battie, Steve Francis, Katino Mobley, and Keon Doolin, just to name a few. A big thanks to my teammates on the Magic team that we reached in 2009, Jameer Nelson, Rashard Lewis, Hito Turkoglu, Rayford Alston, Marcin Gortat, Michael Petrus, and the rest of the squad. That was a magical run. Most of all, I owe a lot to the game of basketball. Because of basketball, my life has been an amazing journey. I've been blessed to go places around the world that I never would have imagined. Thanks to basketball, I've been able to see the world at a whole different angle. This sport has changed my reality and it's opened up doors, allowing me to make connections, globally. Shout out to Taiwan. Even to the point of starting my own basketball league. My basketball travels took me to Beijing in 2008 as I was a part of the Olympic team. So I want to give a shout out to all my teammates from the Redeem team for making it possible to call myself a gold medalist. Squeeze I love you, Bruce. My basketball travels took me to Los Angeles, the last stop of my NBA journey. So I want to give a shout out. Uh-oh. Did I wake up a monster in here? Laker Nation in the building. Okay. Shout out to Dr. Buss and the Buss family and the Rambis family for always supporting me. Okay. Thank you. Oh, LeBron is here. Oh, LeBron James in the building. All right, thank you for coming, Bronny. Thank you to all my 2020 Lakers teammates for making it possible to call myself a champion. Thank you to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame for accepting me into the basketball heaven and making it possible to call myself a Hall of Famer. Yes, this journey has not been easy. I've been through many storms on and off the court, but I've never allowed those to wash me out. Instead, I kept smiling and shining bright because I knew it would only rain for so long. And I've never forgotten how blessed I am. My journey continues not to be a Hall of Fame basketball player, but a Hall of Fame person. I want to give a shout out to my kids, Brayden and Layla, my twins, Jay and Trey, my rock and my faith, and David, my baby boy. I love you, boy. Shout out to my wife, Amber Rose. Not the one with the tattoos, y'all. Not that one. People were saying that earlier. I just want to make sure, not her. Right. I love you, and I'm truly blessed to have you a part of my life. Woo, Lord. As I strive to be a Hall of Fame in everything I do, I leave you guys with this. This is your universe. This is your one song. How do you want your song to sound when people hear it? Will they want to throw it out or run it back? And remember, you only die once, but you live every day. Thank you, and God bless you all.
As I like to remind you, every year there'll be a bunch of tall tales tonight. There's a pretty good chance that some are true. Those are all true. Anyway, reputations are forged by remarkable success over periods of time. Now, under the leadership of Mickey Arison, the Miami Heat have become one of the NBA's model franchises with a style all their own. Heat culture has come to mean show up, work hard, support your teammates, take pride in what you're accomplishing, and it all comes from the top.
Throughout their storied history, the Miami Heat have featured a long list of legendary players, but the organization's tremendous success can be traced back to when Mickey Arison acquired the team in 1995.
Through his leadership, Mickey has had his fingerprints on all of the growth and the impact that we've had, not on just the game of basketball, but on this city alone.
It was Arison's bold move bringing in future Hall of Famer Pat Riley as head coach and team president that would transform the franchise into a consistent championship contender.
When Mickey got involved, it seemed like I was going to be working for a man that was committed to winning, to being first class, who wants to compete.
The Miami Heat, they've done it. They win their first championship in franchise history.
Under Mickey Arison's stewardship, the Heat have won 3 NBA championships and 7 Eastern Conference titles.
No one loves basketball more. Mickey has been everything to the success of the Miami Heat. Mickey believed in the vision.
Arison's influence also extends to his dedication to the Miami community, as well as serving a 3-year term as chairman of the NBA Board of Governors.
Mickey's so deserving of being in the Hall of Fame because of the impact he's had on this game. Over 3 decades, I can't think of any major initiative in the NBA that he has not been directly involved in. The contribution to the game of basketball in the NBA has been enormous.
Welcoming Mickey to the Hall of Fame are Pat Riley, Dwayne Wade, and Alonzo Mourning. Please welcome Mickey Arison.
I have to follow Dwight. I don't do any voices. Congratulations, Dwight. First, I'd like to thank the Hall of Fame for this incredible recognition. Thank you to the NBA, in particular to the late Commissioner David Stern and Commissioner Adam Silver, for the leadership in turning the NBA into a truly global brand. Thank you. The Hall is the highest honor in basketball, but it's not something I ever sought. In 1988, my father was part of the group that brought the Miami Heat to Miami. Ironically, when I found out that he was talking to David Stern, I tried to convince him not to get involved. We had tremendous success in the cruise business and valued our privacy. But the Miami Heat and the game of basketball quickly became an all-consuming passion for our family. So in 1995, I acquired the controlling interest and became managing general partner. Our plan was simple: do right by South Florida and build a winner. The first thing I did was join forces with Pat Riley, a proven winner, a champion, and one of the greatest winners in NBA history. Pat is one of a kind. He and his wife, Chris, have become great friends. We've been through highs, we've been through lows, and he's still an unstoppable force. Pat, we boarded the Carnival Imagination for your introductory press conference in 1995, and you talked about a parade down Biscayne Boulevard. We've now had 3 of those championship parades and have been a Hall of Fame organization ever since. There's no way I'm standing here tonight without you. Pat immediately set out to turn the franchise into a perennial playoff team. And in his first year, we traded for Alonzo Mourning. Zoe became the foundation of Heat culture. Zoe, your work ethic, your toughness became the blueprint for everything we wanted to be. No NBA team has made more playoff appearances than the Miami Heat since Zoe arrived in Miami 30 years ago. Zoe's impact has extended beyond the court, and he's become a pillar in the South Florida community. And then in 2003, our organization was forever changed when we drafted Dwayne Wade, the greatest player in Miami Heat history. I'll never forget the 2006 finals. Down 0-2 with the season slipping away, Dwayne put the team and the city on your back and willed us to a championship. It was one of the greatest 4-game stretches I've ever seen. Thank you, Dwayne. Dwayne, thank you for the 3 rings and for giving us so many unforgettable moments. No matter where life takes you, you'll always be Heat family. In the early years, we hoped we could win championships. With Dwayne and then trading for Shaq, we could. We believed we could. And in 2006, we won our first championship. During that time, my 90-year-old mother-in-law joined us for every single home game. Shaq sent her a red rose with a funny little note and had it delivered to her seat before every game. Shaq, thank you for being an important part of both the Heat family and the Carnival Cruise Line family. Thank you, Shaq. In 2006, we believed we could win. But then in 2010, with Dwayne, LeBron, and Chris Bosh, we knew we could win. Not 1, not 2. I guess it was just 2. 4 straight finals, championship in 12 and 13, and a Big 3 era that made history. The only players on 3 championship teams were Dwayne Wade and Udonis Haslem. UD, thank you for being a caretaker of Heat culture for 20 years and for being here tonight. and for being here tonight to represent the Little 12. I guess that's an inside joke. This may be an individual award, but it's the result of our team's success. Over the last 30 years, we've won 3 championships. We've made 10 Eastern Conference Finals, 7 trips to the NBA Finals. Only 2 teams have won more games in that time. Not bad for one of the youngest franchises in the league. We've had many of our own go into the Hall. Pat, Dwayne, Zoe, Shaq, Chris Bosh, Tim Hardaway, Ray Allen, Gary Payton, and Bob McAdoo. And there will be more. LeBron James, Eric Spoelstra will take the place here as well, and hopefully many, many more. Spo, thank you for continuing the championship coaching legacy that Pat started, leading our team and our culture into the future. Pat was inducted in 2008, and I introduced Spo at a post-enshrinement reception as the next Hall of Fame coach of the Miami Heat. There's no pressure, Spo. Following a legend is never easy, and I'm not sure anyone has done it better than you, Spo. I stand here tonight representing hundreds of employees in the Heat organization, and because of the work of our outstanding coaching staff and 257 different players who have worn the uniform over the last 30 years. Tonight, we go into the Hall together. To Heat staff, many of you have been with us for decades. Thank you. To Eric Woolworth, your leadership guiding our arena and business operations staff. Thank you to Andy Ellisberg for your dedication, expertise in the salary cap and CBA, and teaching us and converting it to English for us. Your fingerprints are on every banner in the arena. To Heat Nation, you're the best fans in the league. You've supported us through every challenge. We know you are Hall of Fame fans. We work hard every year to make you proud. The Miami Heat has always been and always will be a family organization. For my own family, owning the team has created moments nothing else could. Every game, every road trip is an opportunity to spend time together with my kids and grandkids. My son, Nick, grew up in basketball, starting as a ball boy and working in nearly every role until becoming CEO. He even had his own championship resume with Coach K at Duke and in 2008 with the Redeem team. Getting inducted with me tonight. My daughter Kelly, also a former ball girl, is a huge Heat fan and has always been there for me and our team. My wife Madeline, the true Hall of Famer, has made everything possible through her love and support. Together we've built something on the court, and through our foundation we've built something lasting off of it as well. A good team's governor's job is to make sure the team has everything it needs, but it's never about us. It's about the coaches, it's about the players. I firmly believe team owners should rarely be heard from, so I've already spoken too long. To my fellow inductees, it's an honor to share the stage with you this weekend. We are all very different, but we share one thing. We all wanted to do the right by our teams and the people around us. I never thought that would lead to the Hall, but thank you, and go Heat.
When Danny Crawford announced in 2017 that he was retiring after a 32-year career as an NBA referee, the congratulations and all the tributes poured in. There was also this one-word response from none other than Shaquille O'Neal. He tweeted, "Good." Of course, Shaq was kidding. You were kidding, dude. Where you at? Yeah, Shaq was kidding. He was just kidding. He wasn't joking. Anyway, Danny Crawford rose to the top of the NBA's officiating ranks because he was one of the best at it and best at controlling the action. And I know for a fact, if it was really a big game, you could rest assured that Danny Crawford would be officiating.
Relax, don't jump, relax.
One of the NBA's most respected referees during a 32-year career that began in 1985, Danny Crawford officiated more than 2,000 regular season games and 300 playoff contests.
Loose this way. Offensive foul. Body to body now.
We have something that's inside of our manual as referees, and it's game, partners, self. I don't know that I've ever seen someone embody the concept in that order better than Danny Crawford.
The defender can't ride me into him either because it looks like, the defender cannot hold you away from it either.
An indication of his ability and command on the floor, Crawford worked an impressive 23 straight NBA Finals and 30 overall.
The guy was great. He had a sense for what was going on in the game that not everybody has. He loved it. He loved doing what he was doing, and it showed. He was one of the best of the best.
What an incredible honor. Thank you to the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame and Jerry Colangelo for this recognition. I want to thank the NBA for giving me the best job in the world. For 32 seasons, I had a courtside seat to some of the greatest athletes on earth. I'm grateful to the late Commissioner David Stern and to Commissioner Adam Silver for their leadership and trust. A special thanks to fellow Hall of Famer Darryl Garretson, who taught me how to referee at the highest level. NBA referees don't usually end up in places like this. We're more used to boos than applause. That's why this recognition means so much, and hopefully more referees will follow. To my fellow officials, thank you. Refereeing is never a solo job, and I'm grateful to have worked with the very best night in and night out. To my friends from all walks of life, including the Chicagoland legends, thank you for your support throughout the years. And to my late parents and 8 siblings who have always been a source of love and laughter, I'm forever grateful for the bond we share. Finally, to my wife and soulmate, Claudia. None of this would have been possible without you. This honor belongs to you just as much as it does to me. To my son, Drew, my daughter, Leah, and your growing families, your unwavering love and strength have meant the world to me. I'm truly blessed to have such an incredible family. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart.
Presenting Danny Crawford to the Hall of Fame are a pair of legendary point guards from the playgrounds of Chicago, Tim Hardaway and Isaiah Thomas. Please welcome Danny Crawford. Congratulations. At this time, we'd like to take a moment to remember all the treasured members of the Hall of Fame family who have passed on since we were last together.
Greatest of all time.
A fierce competitor with an incredible work ethic. Over the head, only Sue.
Sue Bird with her first points as a Seattle Storm.
Bird again, she's feeling it. Sue Bird is back in the zone.
Sue Bird, all-time leading assist leader in WNBA history.
Boy, how did she get that off? Sylvia fouls.
Stays on her feet, and she just says, give me that, Lisa Leslie.
One of the sweetest, kindest souls this league has ever known. The WNBA career leader in field goal percentage, a two-time champion.
Pondexter spins off balance.
Good! Oh! Pondexter! Beautiful little delivery.
Abby Pondexter is just solely taking over.
Elena Beard the other way, and a reverse layup.
Oh, wow.
Beard, a three, it's good! At the buzzer!
The takeaway by Beard.
Beard has taken over as this game has gone on.
Elena Beard, a little showtime.
Place like that, put her in the Hall of Fame.
Carmelo did the thing where he taps his head with his fist. What's it called? I don't know. What is it called?
The threes to the head.
Threes to the dome? That's my favorite one.
The buzzer! Oh, he puts it in!
The three to the dome.
It originated by actually Rasheed Wallace. That's how it was originated.
Carmelo Anthony! Three to the dome!
Three to the dome. There you go. Just call it three to the dome.
He gave the Melo threes to the dome.
Carmelo does that, right?
Yeah.
The three to the head.
Yeah.
Hold the pose. Hold the pose.
It was an homage.
Yes, he is very close with both guys.
No, he didn't do the Carmelo three to the head.
He did the Carmelo three to the head.
And how do you feel about LaMelo doing the three to the dome?
He can do it. He only do it one time, but he can do it.
"75 years ago, professional basketball was forever changed by three brave men who only wanted a chance to compete at the sport's highest level. In 2025, the National Basketball Association marks the historic achievements of Chuck Cooper, Nat Sweetwater Clifton, and Earl Lloyd with a year-long celebration recognizing their contributions to the game.
When the Boston Celtics selected Chuck Cooper with the 13th overall pick, he became the first black player to be drafted.
We didn't care about his color or where he's from or religion or anything else. And I said he'd fit in real good in that corner position.
The Washington Capitals followed their lead and selected Earl Lloyd in the 9th round.
First African-American ever to play a game in the NBA. Earl Lloyd is one solid block of the NBA foundation. He was just a great asset to the Syracuse Nationals.
1 month later, the New York Knickerbockers signed Nat Sweetwater Clifton, a star with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Clifton is the key man for the Knicks right now. Mikan is guarding him, but Sweets gets past him for a marvelous underhand shot.
Sweetwater, I remember he was very strong, about 6'5", forward, tough defensive player and a good rebounder.
Tonight, and throughout the upcoming season, we are proud to celebrate the 75th anniversary of these players' pioneering achievements.
Joining us tonight to honor these pioneers of professional basketball are the son of Chuck Cooper III, and the son of Earl Lloyd, Kevin Lloyd. Let's have one more round of applause for the families of Chuck Cooper, Earl Lloyd, Nathaniel Sweetwater Clifton. Now, whenever the conversation turns to the greatest of all time at anything, it's almost certain to generate passionate opinions and animated debates. Sometimes there's no way to come to an accepted conclusion. In 2017, Sports Illustrated declared that Maya Moore was the greatest winner in the history of women's basketball. And the case is extremely compelling. Starting with 3 state championships in high school, Maya would continue to rack up multiple titles in college. In the WNBA, in China, where she was known as the Invincible Queen, in the Euro League, at the World Championships, and at the Olympics. Now, as far as I am concerned, that should have been the end of the argument. And by the way, when Maya was just 30 years old and at the height of her career, she walked away from it all, focusing on her family, ministry, and becoming a champion advocate in the fight for criminal justice reform.
One of the best players to ever play the game.
There was never a day that she wasn't going 100%.
She's so incredibly hard to defend.
It was just unbelievable what she did.
A winner everywhere she's been.
Maya Moore's star first began to rise at the University of Connecticut, where she led the Huskies to back-to-back undefeated seasons and national championships in 2009 and 2010.
The competitive spirit that Maya Moore had and her ability to summon up whatever she needed to win each and every possession was absolutely incredible.
The #1 overall pick in the 2011 WNBA draft, Moore was the Rookie of the Year and became the catalyst for a budding dynasty in Minnesota.
The Minnesota Lynx have taken back their title and are champions of the WNBA.
On a team stacked with future Hall of Famers, Maya Moore was not only the go-to player, she was an unstoppable force in the WNBA.
Moore will get it off. The shot is good. Game 3 belongs to Maya Moore.
I think she's somebody that transformed the game. Some of the other all-time greats could score and score in bunches, but Maya came in and had that from her position from 3, mid-range, driving the ball, but just her all-around game.
Maya was the 2013 Finals MVP, 2014 League MVP, a 3-time All-Star Game MVP, and a 4-time WNBA champion.
Maya from day one created this body of work that we've never seen. And the way that she was able to help us become one of the best teams in WNBA history speaks volumes.
As a member of USA Basketball, Moore was an integral part of teams that won 2 world championships, as well as gold medals at the 2012 and 2016 Olympics.
Maya Moore is one of the greats.
Or the reverse, and she got that one to go as well.
Her resume is unmatched.
Welcoming Maya to the Hall of Fame are some of the greatest ever in the history of women's basketball: Swin Cash, Simone Augustus, Lindsay Whalen, Tamika Catchings, and Gino Auriemma. Please welcome Maya Moore.
Word. Wow. I hear you, Huskies. Home court advantage right now. My goodness, my goodness. Well, first of all, before I get started, today is my grandfather's birthday, who passed away a few months ago. So without my grandparents and their unconditional love of this energetic, wild little kid, I wouldn't be standing here. So I just love that it's on his birthday. Yes. But thank you so much, everyone who is here with me, my people. You know who you are. I don't have time to name all the names because we'd be here till Tuesday. But I love you guys so much. You mean everything to me. Love you. I'm also very honored to be standing up here with these Hall of Fame presenters. I mean, look at this, y'all. Got a starting 5 right here. You guys are my friends, my role models, my coaches, my teammates. You all inspired me, you challenged me, you made me better every day as a player, as a person. Each of you represents different teams and parts of my life. And as the baby on the USA basketball team, coming into UConn, and obviously my Lynx sisters who are already sitting back in their jackets. So love you guys so much. Yes, yes. My biggest desire when I played was to help my team in any way that they needed. I think they felt that from me. But one of the most profound aspects of team sports, I think, is seeing a group of individuals over time start to trust each other, and truly play for each other. Coach, you have a quote after you guys won your 12th NCAA title this past spring that I love, and you said, this team fell in love with each other, with the process, with ourselves as a group. And we all got to literally watch as your team played the most connected basketball at the perfect time. So as an alumni, as a Husky, I loved watching them do that because of the adversity that they went through and just overcoming the grind. But you do that and you overcome through love and dedication and trust. All these things that we've heard the other honorees talk about. It's what makes champions champions. So thank you, Coach, for being you. Our UConn dynasty, our Lynx dynasty, each came about because of that way of being and playing. But you don't have to be me or Sue or Syl or any of these greats here tonight to feel the joy of winning together. These teams can inspire us to take these values and create championship culture right where your feet are. I'm so grateful how I've been able to take my championship experiences to an even more precious context, which is our collective communities. Through the family that helped raise me, I began a journey that would require me to live in a way that challenged the expected norm, and I started to actually connect with more of my unseen teammates, and my life would change forever, for the better. Championship culture can be found not just in sports, but in all aspects of life. In our homes, our schools, our neighborhoods, those are the true measures of how our winning legacy exists. But building championship culture takes time. It takes effort. After 20 years of competing for championships, I learned that so much of the work needed to create championship culture is actually hidden. For my teams, that hidden work looked like hours on the court together. Workouts with position coaches, learning how to take care of our bodies, sharing meals together, having tough conversations about how we're gonna win this thing. And likewise, much of the work in building championship communities is unseen. The internal work that we have to do to realize we are all teammates on this planet. Discovering the neighbors around us who we've always overlooked. Showing up to learn and listen to people who have different perspectives than our own. Figuring out how we can all get our needs met and not be at the expense of someone else's dignity. Championship culture. It begins in the dark, in the hidden. Genuine conversations, time spent, but once it springs to life, you can't deny it. It's strong and inspiring. And each of us has the power and the responsibility to keep that alive wherever we are. So now that I'm in the hall, I feel like I've officially become Auntie Maya. So I'm gonna say a few words to this next generation. I'm gonna own it. I'm Auntie Maya, so listen. I want y'all in the next generation to realize it's natural to wrestle with insecurities and fears as you navigate your sports journey. You have to figure out what motivates you every day when you get up out of bed. And there's a lot of pressure, I think, to be motivated by fear and approach your team and your teammates that way. Fear of sharing the spotlight, fear of looking bad, fear of having to wait your turn and losing out on money. That's a lot of pressure. I get it. But I want to challenge you, up-and-comers, to learn to love and seek out joy and connection as your biggest motivator. All of these teams that you see when they're getting interviewed, you see the NBA Finals, you see the WNBA, you see college, they're always talking about each other and the joy that they have of being together. I mean, one of the teams, you couldn't even interview them without all of them being together, right? Like, That's what I'm talking about. To get out of bed determined to see how you can find connection with the people God's allowed you to be with that day. Don't miss out on learning from someone more experienced than you. The joy of helping someone else get better. Seeing them shine at what they're good at. The joy of having people around you that believe in you and you believe in them. Seek that culture out. Be a part of that culture. I'm confident you won't regret it. Lastly, I just want to acknowledge none of us would be here without being ridiculously competitive. I'm no different. Whether it was a half-court drill in practice or the gold medal game, I wanted to win. And that part of me hasn't changed. But now I try to compete at bringing as much life to my community as I can. So I want you to ask yourself, how can you become a better teammate in your home? How can you be more connected to your neighbors, your city? We don't have a legacy all by ourselves. My connection to my teammates, my family, my husband, Jonathan, none of this means anything without my people. Thank you.
John Wooden, the first man to be enshrined here in Springfield twice, first as a player and then as a coach, was also legendary when it came to insightful and inspirational quotes. The Wizard of Westwood would say, be more concerned with your character than your reputation, because your character is what you really are, while your reputation is merely what others think you are. Now, after disappointing finishes at the 2002 FIBA World Championships and at the 2004 Summer Games in Athens, and again at the 2006 FIBA World Championships, USA Basketball men's national team's reputation was in question, and its character was really put to test in 2008.
This summer, we're going to play the best basketball that anyone has seen on this planet.
In Olympic competition, the United States men's basketball team is held to the highest standard. Anything less than a gold medal is considered a disappointment.
Let's go get him, man.
Together. 1, 2, 3.
Together.
After finishing with the bronze medal in the 2004 Athens Games, a new approach was necessary.
We have to change a culture. The world is catching up. So I needed a commitment of 3 years from the players to get people to buy into the philosophy.
All those guys gave a lot more time and preparation than a U.S. team had normally given.
Get through.
The expectations were high. The pressure of going out and playing the game the right way because the world is watching and becoming one.
Ready to run the floor, boy. It means everything to be able to represent our country, man. It's special.
We understood what it meant. We understood we all had to redeem ourselves.
Switch.
The practices. We got after each other.
We'll make you work, baby. Make you work.
But also, we were there for each other.
Let's go.
They all knew the mission from the get-go. Everybody bought in, and it was just a terrific chemistry.
This is starting the road to gold, baby. USA on 3. 1, 2, 3. USA!
Displaying dedication and teamwork, the U.S. dominated the competition.
Another one of those terrific team efforts.
Storming its way to the gold medal game.
That team really had to come together, and we had a special bond. The best team I've ever been on in my life.
This is the matchup everyone's been waiting for.
Facing a powerhouse Spanish team that had won gold in the 2006 FIBA World Championship, the United States was pushed to the limit.
Another clutch play. You can see the joy, the excitement. This is the beauty of sports. And the United States men, gold medalists once again.
I thought they won the respect of the world, not just the gold medal.
That was a great experience, and I'll never trade that for anything.
We put American basketball back where it's supposed to be, on top.
I had so much pride. Nothing else meant as much as bringing the gold back to where it belonged.
Please welcome the members of the 2008 USA Basketball's men's national team here with us tonight: Carmelo Anthony, Carlos Boozer, Chris Bosh, Dwight Howard, LeBron James, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul, Tayshaun Prince, Michael Redd, Dwayne Wade, and Darren Williams. And any tribute to this legendary team would not be complete without acknowledging the late, great Kobe Bryant. We miss you, Kobe. And now for the coaching staff of the 2008 U.S. men's national team. Unable to attend this evening, assistant coach Nate McMillan. Please welcome assistant coaches Jim Boeheim and Mike D'Antoni. And head coach Mike Krzyzewski. And now let's bring out the former chairman of the board and men's national team director, Jerry Colangelo. Here they are, the 2008 U.S. men's national basketball team. First off, Jerry, we lost one of the greats in the past, George Raveling. What did he mean to USA Basketball in the Hall of Fame?
George Raveling was an incredible person. He liked to be called coach, but he also was a mentor to so many people. I spoke to him every week, 2 or 3 times a week. We were that close. He loved the game. He loved the players. He was as smart a guy as you'd ever run across. And when you look at his moment in history, he died at 88. So he went through all of the things that were happening in the world in terms of injustice. And he, some people don't know this, but when Martin Luther King gave his incredible speech in Washington, D.C., George Raveling was a volunteer standing at the bottom of the podium. And as Martin Luther King came down the steps, he gave George Raveling the speech, the great speech that he made. And I can't tell you how many people tried to buy it from him. He would never do it. That's the character that he had. He always had his life in order. We lost a great guy.
So we just set the scene of USA Basketball, but tell me about 2005 when David Stern and Russ Granick asked you to take over the men's national team.
Well, it was a moment where I was home recuperating from some major surgery, and I had sold my interest in the Suns. And when the phone rang, it was David, and asked questions, how are you doing, blah, blah, blah. And he said, would you take over USA Basketball? And I'm instinctive, and I said immediately, yes, I'll do it, but I have 2 conditions. So what are they? I pick the coaches and I pick the players, full autonomy. He says, done. What's number 2? I don't want to hear about a budget. He didn't like that. But I assured him, don't worry, I'll raise the money anyway, in terms of sponsorships and so forth. And I have to tell you, on a personal note, those were the great years in my career in representing our country in putting this group together, our staff, our coaching staff, the players that we were able to put together. It was a fabulous time.
You know, it was really exciting for me. I remember I was very excited when you picked Coach K. And Coach K, I just want to know, what kind of team were you looking to build at that point when you came out?
Well, a team that was better than my Duke team. We wanted, these guys are amazing, because we had a team that was talented and had character. We didn't have a team of talented characters. And they represented their country, themselves, and the NBA in the best possible manner. And our goal was to win the gold medal, but also to win the respect of our country again, and also the respect of the world. So how they interacted with all the athletes from all over the world really set the stage for what USA basketball has continued to become with Coach Pop and Steve Kerr coaching their teams.
LeBron, one thing I always wanted to know, how'd you feel when you found out that Kobe was going to be on that team too? I mean, you're playing with all these stars, but all of a sudden you had a chance to have him on your team also.
I think it was just the missing link that we needed in order to regain the dominance, with Team USA. He brought a sense of seriousness to the team. He made us lock in, and we knew once he joined and he was going to be committed that, we couldn't be doing nothing half-ass. Cole wasn't going for that, so it made myself, CP, D-Wade, Melo, we all locked in even more because we wanted to show him that we can get to that level as well. So, it was just an honor to be out there with him. I was 23 years old, and he being out on the floor with him, he had already won championships before and things of that nature. So it was levels that I was trying to get to, and I think D-Wade had already won one, and so we just wanted to get to his level and make him proud. And by the end of that trip, when we was hosting that gold medal on top of that podium, we for sure made him proud, for sure.
All right, so now, Dwayne, tell me, here's what I want to know, because I've been to Olympic practices behind the curtains back there. Tell me about the competition on them scrimmages every day. You must have really went at it with this team.
Yeah, it wasn't no fair, really. Coach K was stacking Bron team. Him, Cole, J. Kidd, Melo, Dwight. It was me, Chris, and Darren Williams, CB, Tayshaun, Boobs. Like, we represented. No, it was it was but it's what it was. These was our guys. These were the guys, and we knew that as the bench guys, the guys that was going to come in, that we had to make sure that the level didn't drop, and the competition was fierce every day. And so, you get this little feisty point guard
who was really rolling at that time too.
He
just came out, second in MVP vote and all that.
He gonna get us going.
Ready.
So it was what we all needed. We needed to look at each other. We all was very competitive. Of course, we was on the same team, but once them jerseys flipped, let's get it, let's go, and that's kind of how it was.
So, Chris, what do you remember most about the gold medal game against Spain?
What do I remember most about the gold medal game? Probably going into the game, how they was talking about the game was going to be covered so crazy with so many fans watching. Obviously, everybody always talks about that moment when Kobe ran through Powell's chest,
Yes.
The intensity of that game was crazy. Our team was so talented. Everybody had accepted their roles. That's what made that team so special. I learned so much that year in 2008, because when people think about USA teams, you think about all-star teams. But it really has to be a team where everybody accepts their roles and all that. I was my third year in the league, coming off the bench. You're like, what? I'm coming off the bench? But you're going to come off the bench if J. Kidd on your team, Seriously. But it was that game was intense. The passion, because we had lost in 06, right? We had lost in 06 the World Championship. So every day we approached it with just a crazy mentality. Like our practices, we didn't practice much in 2012. 2008, we practiced. Like we practiced, we competed, and I think we all made each other better. You should have seen like the weight room in the morning, everybody trying to see who's gonna beat the other guy down there. So there's a competition, a bond that, I think we made. That game was like none other. It was a young Ricky Rubio out there talking crazy to me and D. Will at the time. You know what I mean? So it was a great time, and even just to watch those videos and be with all these guys is something that sometimes you live life and forget to remember. And I think that was a very important role in all of our lives.
Right, right. J.K., you were the captain. So the team was loaded. How'd you keep everybody involved?
Great question. I might have been the captain. I was more like the water boy, the towel boy. The clock, I kept the clock to make sure everybody was on time, no one was late. Asked everybody what Gatorade color they liked.
Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it.
So now we know who said that.
He's the only one that's never lost a game in international play ever.
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 Right. Absolutely.
So you stop it. You stop it.
Do you see this group? I'm riding their coattails.
Yes.
No, when Jerry called and asked me to participate, I'm always honored to represent my country, but it's more to give back to our younger players. And to be able to hang out with this group, it will be something I will always remember. CP and D. Will, being able to talk to those guys, because I knew I was passing the torch, or more the Gatorade, but I was passing my information that I was taught from GP and Stockton. My job was to pass that information on to them, and those guys are Hall of Famers, and again, will come in and do this individually. But again, Coach K, I was in awe of Coach K day one. When he kind of used some foul language, he got our attention. And again, our leadership from the top set the tone, but it was a beautiful thing to watch Kobe and LeBron battle. They battled in practice, and they set the tone every morning. I saw a clip of LeBron every morning, had high energy. He set the tone, even though he didn't know he was setting the tone, that it was time to go. And so it was a lot of fun.
It's so interesting when you have things like that and players at that much talent. It's just wonderful to go to practice every day, and it all brings out the best in you. It's so easy to have an assist. Whoever you threw it to was a good pass.
It was a great pass. The only problem was they didn't have enough Advil.
Coach K, tell me about the feeling when you watch when they give the gold medal out at the end, and you see the players standing there around, and you're watching, and the national anthem's playing, and they're raising the flag, and you're holding the trophy. That's such a wonderful, emotional moment and they take the camera and they run it by everybody's faces. And I always thought what you're thinking. You got to be thinking of whatever you had to climb and whatever you got and you got there. What kind of feeling was that for you?
Well, for all the coaches in the audience and watching, there's no greater thrill than to watch your team achieve a championship. But this was the World Championship, the Olympics. To have their hands over their hearts. You could see the emotion in their faces. They were pretty happy guys, but they were very proud. And when our national anthem was played and our flag is being raised above all the others, it's the best moment in my coaching career. And I want to thank you guys for giving me that moment, because coaches are not able to do that, but if they got really good guys playing for them, those moments happen.
That's fantastic. And I just want to, this has been great. Once again, congratulations to the 2008 U.S. Men's National Basketball Team. Please give them a big hand, and we'll be right back.
Coming up, one of the most prolific scorers of his generation, 10-time NBA All-Star Carmelo Anthony, and 4-time WNBA champion Sue Bird is joining the Hall. We hear from one of the greatest point guards in basketball history.
Did he just do that?
Throw it down, big fella. Throw down. Like heartbreaking.
Oh, what? Howard! Are you kidding?
Howard with a powerful jump.
He just pulled down the shot clock. Just what we need here.
Boom.
His legacy is that he dominated in the time that he played.
amongst the Vikings, he was one of. He was one of the greats, and he stands on the mountains with all of us up there, you feel me? For a period of time, he was the best big man in the game.
When I'm in the air and I see that ball in the rear, boom!
He's got the strength of about 3 men. Offensive rebound.
The runway was clear and he went to the air.
Howard, a man-sized rebound. Superman.
The backboard is rocking. Howard goes in strong, goes in hot and high.
Superman comes flying out of the day.
Sylvia Fowles is a Hall of Famer. Her resume speaks to it. She's a gold medalist. She's a champion.
A whole lot of smiles and hugs. One of the most genuine, caring winners we have ever seen in this league's history.
Sylvia Fowles is a beast. One of the most dominant players in the history of the league. Always makes you feel good knowing Sylvia Fowles on the court. She can clean it all up for you. Sylvia's in the right place at the right time. Finishes.
Sylvia Fowles just continues to be an unstoppable force in the middle for Cheryl Reed's team. Sylvia Fowles should instill fear in anyone who comes into the paint.
Her numbers speak for themselves.
They really do. She is the model of consistency.
Billy Donovan. Billy Donovan wasn't heavily recruited out of high school, but he had a burning passion for the game, and he could also hold his own against the best point guards in New York City. Now, after 2 years at Providence College and a coaching change, Billy was ready to move on to make the most of the time left at that level. That's when the gym rat crossed paths with a legendary coach in the making, propelling Billy Donovan to his own history-making journey in Springfield.
Hi, I'm head coach Billy Donovan from the University of Florida. Today what we're going to talk about is our full court pressure.
One of only 4 men to win an NCAA championship as a coach and appear in a Final Four as a player, Billy Donovan was a star point guard at Providence College, where he led the Friars to an unlikely Final Four appearance in 1987.
He was a great one-on-one basketball player. He was a one-man press breaker. Billy the Kid carried his team on his back.
After a short stint in pro ball, as well as a Wall Street stockbroker, he turned to coaching, learning his trade as an assistant for his old college coach.
I didn't know what he'd be as a coach at that time, but then he put his coaching whistle on, and the rest is history.
After 2 seasons at Marshall, Donovan was hired to revive the University of Florida's program in 1996. The Gators became a national powerhouse as he led them to 16 straight 20-win seasons, 4 Final Four appearances, and NCAA titles in 2006 and 2007.
Florida takes its place in history. Back to back.
Winning the NCAA men's basketball championship is difficult. To win it 2 times in a row is a remarkable accomplishment.
Donovan also has succeeded on the professional level. He coached for 5 seasons in Oklahoma City, guiding them to the playoffs each time. And since 2020, he has been head coach of the Chicago Bulls.
You guys are in good shape. Let's get in great shape and have the mentality to be the best conditioned team.
Coach Donovan, he's somebody who connected with his players, and we respected him and loved him.
He's one of the great coaches, but he also is as genuine a person as there is in basketball.
Welcoming Billy to the Hall of Fame are Mo Cheeks, a trusted assistant who spent nearly a decade at his side for 2 NBA franchises, and Rick Pitino, head coach of the 1987 Providence Friars, who made a miraculous run to the Final Four with Billy the Kid at point guard. Please welcome Billy Donovan.
Thank you. I obviously am incredibly humbled and honored. Standing up here, I'm a reflection of so many different people throughout the course of my life. First, I'd like to thank Jerry Colangelo, in the Hall of Fame for this incredible honor. Really, really humbling. I also want to congratulate all the other inductees for their amazing career, their achievements. It's really, truly a remarkable class to be a part of. I've loved the game of basketball ever since I can remember, and I know he's here, but I just want to recognize Adam Silver and his vision to continue to grow the game to new heights. So thank you, Adam. When I first got nominated, one of the first people that called me was Jerry Reinsdorf, and he called to congratulate me about being nominated, and he called to wish me luck. We had a great conversation, and towards the end he said to me, "Are you going in as a player?" And I said, "Jerry, I don't think so. I wasn't part of those 90s Bulls teams, so it's the coach." But Jerry Reinsdorf, Michael Reinsdorf, Arturas Kondrashovas, Mark Eversley, the Bulls organization, just want to thank all of you for your support. Faith and belief have been incredibly powerful in my life. And it's not been the faith and belief in myself, but it's been the faith and belief that others have had in me when there was really no sign or no evidence to have faith. I am incredibly indebted to Coach Pitino. I had the opportunity to play for Coach, and I had the opportunity to work for him. And he taught me how to work, taught me what it was to compete, and he taught me about what really went into winning. And the one thing I'm going to say about Coach is where he found me as a sophomore in college is not where he left me. He took me to places that I never, ever could have dreamed of, and it was his belief, faith, and confidence in me that I will always be indebted to. So, Coach, thank you. When you transition from college to the NBA, it's not that easy. There's a large learning curve, and there was plenty of potholes that I was getting ready to step into as a coach. But I was so fortunate with my first staff to have Monty Williams and Mark Bryant and Mo Cheeks, all coaches and players in the league. I'll never forget it. For all the NBA guys here, they know it's kind of a rule. You have a back-to-back. The next day you have off. I had just gotten to the NBA. It's a back-to-back. We lost both games. I go into the locker room and say, we're practicing tomorrow, the whole bit. Little do I know, Mo's back in there trying to calm all these guys down because they're expecting a day off. So Mo grabbed me and said to me, Billy, before you ever walk into the locker room and talk to that team again, you have to talk to me first. Mo had been by my side for 9 years, and I am so grateful of the investment that he made in me as a person and as a coach. He's been an NBA lifer, an NBA champion, an NBA All-Star, and an NBA Hall of Famer. And every day he imparted his wisdom on me. And the relationship that we established, and to see the investment he made in me, I couldn't be any more grateful. So, Mo, really appreciate you. As I transitioned from college to the NBA, another person that was a great help to me was Mark Daignault. Mark and I worked together a number of years at Florida before he moved on to Oklahoma City in the NBA. And then when I came there, he was a great, great coach, a great partner, a great friend. And I just want to congratulate Mark and Oklahoma City Thunder, Sam Presti and Clay Bennett and their organization. What a great run, winning the championship. Really happy for you. So much of this game is about the people that are around you. And I'm indebted to so many people. You have to have great coaches alongside of you. You have to have great people alongside of you. And you heard so many people talk about it's not only about the talent of people, but it's the character too. At 28 years old, Lee Moon hired me at Marshall University. And at that time, I was the youngest head coach in the country. And when he hired me, I hired, this was probably a real smart move, all guys the same age as me. They were all 28. And we had a remarkable, over a decade run together. And I want to acknowledge Anthony Grant and John Pelfrey and Donnie Jones, because we started together. They all had opportunities to leave and move on, but they stayed. And they invested in me, and they invested in the program. And the friendship and the relationship that was established over a more than 10-plus season couldn't be any more grateful for. But just like when you have great coaches, they're going to end up moving on. And that's one thing I've been really, really blessed with, and probably learned a lot from Coach Pitino, because he's had more coaches go from assistants to head coaches than maybe any coach in the history of the game. So he always told me my responsibility was help the assistants to move on and take on better opportunities. So I lost them. You've got to find new players, new coaches. And to have somebody like Larry Shyatt available and come in and work with me for 7 years and bring in a different perspective. Even now today, Billy Schmidt's been with me for 11 years. These people have remained loyal. They've invested in me, and they've believed in me when maybe there was really no evidence to believe in me. After Marshall, I got a phone call from the athletic director at the University of Florida, Jeremy Foley. And I really believe that he'll go down as one of the greatest athletic directors of all time. But again, no real evidence to hire a 28-year-old head coach with 2 years experience. But he did. And he believed in me, and he and I both shared a vision. And for 19 years, we were partnered, and it was an unbelievable ride, an unbelievable journey. And Jeremy, I can't thank you enough for the friendship, the commitment, and everything you've done to me. I mentioned about Coach Pitino changing my life. You changed my life as well, and I'll always be grateful for the opportunity there. Thank you. When I got to Florida, we had 2 straight losing seasons. And you know, as a coach, you're not going to go very far if you don't have good players. And I'm standing up here because I coached some really, really good players. But not only good players, I coached high-character competitors. So when we first started off, we had to get out and get some guys to believe, to take a risk and a chance and have some faith that Florida basketball could be halfway decent. And I'll never forget, and I know the Miami Heat are so proud of him, but made a lot of journeys down to Miami Senior High School to recruit 2 guys that are sitting together right now and great teammates, Udonis Haslem and Brent Wright. Went to South Dakota and recruited a skinny kid that also played for the Heat and a lot of teams in the NBA, Mike Miller, and Brett Nelson and Matt Bonner. And with no real evidence, these guys came here and had faith and belief. And in 2 years, they played for a national championship. And it was an unbelievable journey. Those guys put their footprints in the program and allowed us to continue moving forward. You're going to lose good players to the NBA, and a lot of those guys left. And then in 2004, a group of 4 guys came in out of the recruiting class. Torian Green, Corey Brewer, Joakim Noah, and Al Horford. And we had 1 player who was a year older than them, Lee Humphrey. I know I'm biased, but I really, really believe that that team should be considered one of the great teams of all time, because they're the only team in the history of the NCAA tournament to start a season unranked and win a national championship, and then have to start the next season ranked #1 in the country and do it under both of those platforms. And they taught me so much about winning and about what it was to be a team. And I'm so grateful for the experience with those guys, and just say thank you. Like I said earlier, when you have good players, you lose them. So we had to start all over again after those guys left. And we were fortunate with a group of guys, Brad Beal, Kenny Boynton, Irving Walker, Chandler Parsons, to kind of get us back our footing. And then in 2014, with Patrick Young and Casey Prather and Will Yeget and Scotty Wilbekin, Michael Frazier, that team went on to win 30 straight games. They won over 100 days without losing, and they were another group of guys that were incredible to be a part of what they were able to accomplish. And I am so grateful, and I can't go through every player and every team, but I am so grateful to all the players, all the guys that showed up to be here tonight for me, all the guys, the work ethic, the commitment, the relationship. I am so indebted and grateful to all of you, so thank you. I grew up in a great household with two wonderful parents. They sacrificed, they did everything that they possibly could, and without my mom and my dad, I would not be standing up here. My mom's not here tonight, but to her and Dad, to you, I love you. I appreciate everything you've done for me, all the sacrifice, all the commitment, everything. I am so indebted and so grateful and so appreciative, and just want to say thank you and I love you. We grew up in a great environment back in Rockville Center, New York. Great high school program, great high school coach in Frank Morris. It was a great place to grow up, and I'll always cherish my childhood there, so thank you. To my 5 children, Billy and Brian and Hasbrook, Connor and Pete, I know that coaching is not the easiest job in the world, and you have remained by my side, all of you, for my entire life, all the way through. But the unfortunate part, and part I always will feel bad about, I wasn't always by your side all the time because of what the job entailed and what it called for. But all of you were so understanding, and I so appreciate your grace and the relationship that we've been able to establish and the fact that you can share in all of this. To my son Billy and his wife Lauren, you brought 2 beautiful grandchildren into our lives we're thankful for. To Pete and Jess, 2 wonderful grandchildren we're so fortunate and blessed with. And then to my daughter and her husband Jahan, who are expecting in March. We're going to be grandparents of 5 here soon, so we're thankful for that. To my wife Christine, she's really the one that should be standing up here in the Hall of Fame, not me. She had to deal with me for 36 years, and I know it wasn't always easy, but she allowed me to be able to go out and do something that I love because I always knew everything was okay at home. She was a great mom, a great wife, and an unbelievable person. And she's kind of been the rock and the foundation and someone that's been there for me for 36 years. And I appreciate so much her understanding the profession, allowing me to go to work every day with a clear head and clear mind, and always be there with love and care and acceptance. And I love you, Christine, and I appreciate everything that you've done, the sacrifice you've made. Thank you. There's so many more people I want to thank, but I just want to say thank you to all the people that impacted my life, friends and family, coaches, players. Thank you so much. It's an incredible honor, and I am very, very grateful. Thank you.
Every morning, you have 2 choices. You can continue to sleep with your dreams or wake up and chase them. For Carmelo Anthony, there was only one answer, and it came as easy to him as putting the ball in a basket. Now, from the moment that Melo burst on the scene at Syracuse University and across the next 2 decades, he would never give up the pursuit and continue to chase greatness. Along that journey, Carmelo, who was from the Red Hook houses in Brooklyn and the Murphy homes of West Baltimore, and for those of you who don't know where that is, it's about 3,000 miles east of Beverly Hills, which you'll hear about it momentarily, established himself as one of the most gifted and prolific pure scorers in all of basketball.
Carmelo Anthony! The game is easy when the ball is in the hands of Melo. Carmelo Anthony
chanting and enthralling the crowd.
This guy, folks, is a scorer's scorer.
Denver's headed to the Western Conference Final. Third gold medal. Carmelo Anthony, what else you got?
Before becoming one of the NBA's most prolific scorers, Carmelo Anthony was a freshman sensation at Syracuse University.
He was so physical, so unusual for a freshman to carry a team to a national championship. He really took over in the Final Four.
Syracuse is your national champion.
He entered the NBA with more fanfare as part of the iconic draft class of 2003. Upon joining the Denver Nuggets, he led them to 7 straight playoff appearances, including the conference finals in 2009.
He has so much in his bag. Gets you in that triple threat, jab you, race. Jab you, hit you with a shoulder. He can score anywhere in the gym.
Arriving in New York in 2011, Carmelo brought a new level of excitement to Madison Square Garden.
That shot is good. Carmelo Anthony with the greatest scoring game in Knicks history. He's got 62.
Really enjoyed playing with Melo. Wasn't afraid of the moment. Made the game easy for me. Just get him the ball and just kind of watch like everyone else.
Knicks down 3. Anthony for 3. Bang! Devlin at Madison Square Garden.
He also excelled for USA Basketball. A 4-time Olympian, Carmelo was instrumental in capturing 3 gold medals. A 10-time All-Star and a scoring champion in 2013, Anthony ranks 10th on the NBA's all-time career scoring list.
Anthony,
When you saw him smile, you knew he was unstoppable.
Everything he did was just so smooth, so effortless. Melo is one of the clutchest players in our game.
This Hall of Fame jacket, this is just the byproduct of hard work and dedication. You are forever immortalized.
Welcoming Carmelo to the Hall of Fame are 2 of the most exciting and explosive guards the game has ever seen, Dwayne Wade and the answer, Allen Iverson. Please welcome Carmelo Anthony.
Pardon my language, man, but damn, excuse me, pardon, sorry. Tonight, I don't just step into the Hall of Fame. I carry with me the echoes of every voice that ever told me I couldn't. I walk with the shadows of every alley, every cracked court, every empty plate. I stand for the dreamers, the doubted, the dismissed, for every soul still trapped in the places I broke free from Red Hook to Myrtle Avenue. We didn't grow up with guarantees. We grew up with grit. We didn't have much, but we had dreams. And if you were lucky, you had someone telling you not to give up on them. But more often, what we heard was, that ain't for you. Don't aim too high. Melo, stay in your lane. Well, I had to build a new road. I had to write a different ending. See, when you grow up in the shadows, you either get swallowed by them or you learn how to shine away. To every kid watching, I want you to hear me loud. You are not your zip code. You are not your last name. You are not your setbacks. You are your vision. You are your work ethic. You are your will. You are the quiet whisper inside you that says, I know there's more for me in this life. Hold on to that voice. It will be tested.
The dogs is barking. Yeah, the dogs is barking. The dogs is barking. Yeah. The dogs is barking. Yeah. Yeah. They would tell you it's foolish. They would laugh at your belief. But let me tell you, they laughed at me too. To my father, here's where the tears come. We good. To my father, Carmelo Idiate, Boricua. You left this world too soon, but you never left me. Your name is my name. Your spirit walks with me in every step I take. You were a poet, an activist, a fighter. You taught me without even knowing that words matter, that vision matters. Even in your absence, you gave me strength. In the silence, you gave me purpose. And though I didn't get to grow with you, I grew because of you. You gave me the first example of what it means to carry fire and still speak with grace. Your blood runs in mine. Your dream lives through me. This Hall of Fame jacket that I received, I'm not wearing it tonight. I wear it for the both of us. To my sister, Michelle Anthony, you have been my protector, my voice of reason, my anchor in every storm. In this world, sometimes you just need one person to see you before anyone else does. You were that person. You believed in me when I didn't even know how to believe in myself. You loved me without conditions, and you held this family together with strength that no stat sheet can measure. You are a Hall of Fame in every sense of the word, sis. This honor is yours, too. To Puerto Rico, my blood, my soul, my heart. I carry the flag in my heart. I carry the island in my veins. When I wore those colors on my chest, I wasn't just playing basketball. I was honoring the heritage. I was honoring my father. I was honoring every Puerto Rican who's ever had to fight twice as hard to get as far. Puerto Rico, you gave me fire, you gave me soul, you gave me home. We are proud, we are powerful, we are present. This Hall of Fame moment belongs to the island, it belongs to us. To my brothers, Justin Wolf, my real ones, my Aelites, who held me down when the world turned its back. When the critics got loud, you got louder with your love. You reminded me who I was. Every text, every call, every laugh. And we made it, champ. To every father, and this is important, every man listening, you are more than your mistakes. You are more than what this world has to reduce you to. Being present, being real, being vulnerable, that's strength. Raising children in this world is revolutionary. I didn't just want to be a basketball player. I wanted to be a model of redemption, of accountability, of love. My kids saved me. They gave me a reason to move past ego, past noise, past criticism. They reminded me that legacy isn't what you leave behind, it's what you lift up. To every woman who's held us together, I owe everything to the strength of women. To the women who raised us, who loved us through our mistakes, who believed in us before the world saw our potential. I stand here because of you. To the single mothers pulling double shifts, to the grandmothers who stepped in when fathers couldn't, to the sisters who became second mothers, you are the real MVPs. You've held us up when the world tried to tear us down. You've spoken life into us when we were silent.
and you've shown us what it means to fight with grace and lead with love. To Mama Love, to my mother, Mary Anthony, you taught me that love She crying. You taught me that love is action, that sacrifice is quiet, that faith is louder than fear. To every woman watching tonight, this moment is yours too. You are not behind us. You're not beside us. You're the reason we rise. You don't just shape homes, you shape legacies. My mother was the first one to show me what sacrifice looks like. No spotlight, no praise, just love in its purest form. You're the reason I'm standing here, Ma. The sacrifices you made, the tears you held back, the strength you showed, I felt it every time I laced up my sneakers. You are my hero. And now, as a man, I see how powerful that was. That was Hall of Fame worthy too. I've been cheered, criticized. They called me a scorer who couldn't win. They said I was too loyal, and they said I wasn't loyal enough. But they didn't know what it feels like to carry the weight of whole cities, to lace up your sneakers while the world is dissecting your soul. They never saw the lonely nights, the aching knees, the silent battles, but I kept going. I kept shooting, and I kept believing. Not because I had all the answers, but because I had a why. My why was bigger than me. My why was every kid in the hood who ever thought greatness wasn't for them. My why was my son, watching to see if his father would fold or fight. To my real ones, my real friends, Kenny, Munch, Draper, Bay, Tyler, you weren't just part of this journey. You were my foundation. When the cameras was off, when the critics was loud, when the weight was heavy, you was there. You reminded me who I was when the world tried to rewrite my story. You gave me laughter in the darkest seasons. You gave me silence when I needed peace. You gave me honesty, love, loyalty when the world gave me noise. This honor belongs to us because without your presence, your truth, your belief, I don't get here. Y'all never chase the spotlight, but I need the world to know you were the light behind mine. To Syracuse, 1 year, 1 championship, 1 spark that changed everything. You gave me my first shot at belief on a national stage, and I gave you my whole heart. I know everybody waiting on this next one. To the Denver Nuggets, in the city of Denver, you believed in me first. You gave me the keys as a 19-year-old kid. You let me grow, fall, fly, and become the man standing here today. Denver was where I learned the weight of the league, when I learned the value of sacrifice and the beauty of team. To every fan who filled the Pepsi Center, thank you. To the Mile High City, you'll always be a part of my foundation. To the New York Knicks, in the city of New York, the mecca of basketball, you gave me more than a jersey. You gave me an identity. From the lights of Madison Square Garden to the heartbeat of every borough, I felt that energy. I carried it. I became it. New York is not for the faint of heart. It's pressure, it's expectation, but it's also pride, power, and poetry in motion. You show me what it means to carry a city on your back with grace, with grit, and with love. To the fans, your passion never wavered. Even when things got tough, your fire lit up every corner of the garden. Every chant, every roar, every boo, every moment, we felt it. I felt it. And to the Knicks organization, thank you for believing in me, for trusting me to represent the city that never sleeps, that never folds, that never stops. I may have played around the league, but my soul will always echo 33rd and 7th. Once a Knick, always a Knick. To the game of basketball, you were my way out, but more than that, you were my way in. You let me tell my story without words. You let me cry through jumpers, shout through dunks, dream through wins. You gave a kid from the projects a passport to the world. You gave my pain purpose. You gave my past a future. I never got an NBA ring, and some will always define me by that. But I know what I gave to this game, and I know what this game gave back. Legacy isn't always made in championships. Sometimes it's made in consistency and a refusal to quit and showing up over and over again when no one's clapping. I played the game with fire, with passion, with love, with joy. I gave it everything I had, every single night. To my children, Cayenne and Genesis, your father isn't perfect, but he is proof. Proof that struggle doesn't mean surrender. Proof that the road can be rough and still lead to glory. And so I say again to every child listening, they would tell you to be realistic. I say be relentless. They would say you're dreaming too big. I say dream louder. They would try to label you, box you in, count you out. But remember, statistics don't measure heart. They don't account for fight. They don't see the storm that built you. You were made for more. You are more than possible. You are inevitable. Tonight, I take my place in the Hall of Fame. But the real honor is knowing I never walked alone. You walked with me. My story is your story. So when they ask you where the greatness comes from, tell them it starts in the dirt. It starts in the dark. It starts with a whisper that says, I will not be denied. Thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for walking with me. We're in the hall now, chant, and we just getting started. When in doubt, stay mellow. Peace.
There are degrees of fame. You can be placed in a ring of honor by a grateful franchise. Some athletes will perform so well that their jerseys are retired and the numbers never worn again. And then there are those so accomplished and so successful for such an extended period that they become ingrained in the fabric of the city they represent. They are cast in bronze. When Seattle paid the ultimate tribute to Sue Bird by making her the first WNBA player to have a statue erected outside of one of the league's arenas, she said, if this statue means that 20 years from now there will be statues of other WNBA greats, some who are in the audience, and players whose names you don't even know yet, then I'm proud to be first.
Sue Bird was about as well-rounded as any point guard that will ever be.
3-on-2 the other way. Nobody better in the history of this game. Going down. Nobody better ever.
Sue Bird's remarkable career began as the New York State Player of the Year in high school. She then went on to star at the University of Connecticut, leading the Huskies to 2 NCAA titles and a stunning 114-4 record, including an undefeated season in 2002.
In order to be a leader, you have to have the respect of all your teammates, and you have to be able to come through for them in the clutch. All those things are things that Sue has perfected.
Drafted #1 overall by the Seattle Storm, Bird became a fixture in the city.
Sue drives to the left side all the way to the rack. Scoop shot up and in. Sue Bird with her first points as a Seattle Storm.
When Sue came in, I mean, she was already elite. The leadership that she had right from that very young age elevated everybody around her.
So everyone take a breath and just know we're going to have to turn it up. This is just like the last game.
She was an exceptional playmaker, while also delivering countless clutch shots.
The level of play that she's been able to sustain gives a lot of players the blueprint of how to be successful, and no one's done it better than Sue.
Into Bird, in the corner, you bet! She's done it again!
With Bird leading the way, Seattle won 4 championships, making her the only WNBA player to win titles in 3 different decades.
Sue has been a pioneer in the WNBA, an unprecedented 21 years in the league. And the entire time throughout her career, she was playing at a championship level.
Bird also was a mainstay of the U.S. women's national team, winning an amazing 5 Olympic gold medals and 4 FIBA World Cup titles.
It was a coach's dream to coach Sue because you knew you had another coach out there on the floor when she was leading your basketball team.
Sue Bird's name is everywhere in the WNBA record book as the all-time leader in assists, minutes, and games played, and ranking 3rd in steals.
She's someone that is going to be respected and loved and should be idolized for years and years to come, but she's set the bar, and she certainly is the best point guard that's ever played the game.
Welcoming Sue to the Hall of Fame are Swin Cash and Gino Auriemma, who joined forces with her in 1999 at UConn when they helped to lay the foundation for one of the greatest dynasties in all of sports. Please welcome Sue Bird.
Dogs are still barking. UConn Huskies, yeah? It is amazing knowing that the two of you up here have had my back from Stores to Seattle and now Springfield. Swin, we were roommates at UConn when we were still teenagers. I've always admired your confidence, your fearlessness, the way you approached everything, both on and off the court. From sharing a dorm room to sharing championship moments, you've been there through it all. And our group chat with Asia and Tamika, who are here today, is still going strong, proving that some bonds really are unbreakable. And Coach Auriemma, all those years ago, you gave me the most important piece of advice I've ever received. I mean, I guess you gave a lot of advice because you talk a lot, but this was really the one I remember. You said, you know, it's not often you get to take shots, and he doesn't have a mic to come back, so. You said basketball is not a game of how to. It's a game of when to. I built my career around it, and I'll be saying more about that in a minute. This moment is truly overwhelming. There are hundreds of people in here I could thank, and those are probably just my surgeons. It's been so wonderful, though, seeing so many familiar faces. I do want to thank the Honors Committee, Jerry Colangelo, and everyone who makes this evening possible. It's been a crazy year for me. My own street in Seattle, the Women's Basketball Hall of Fame, and then 2 weeks ago, the city of Seattle and the Seattle Storm unveiled my statue outside of Climate Pledge Arena. Thank you. The first WNBA player, but certainly not the last. And you know, for years, when you play in the WNBA for years, we were told the league's not going to make it, that it wasn't important. But we're in Massachusetts, so like the great Will Hunting once said, how do you like them apples? And now this moment. For me, the Hall of Fame is the ultimate capstone, not because of the fame part, but because of the hall part. It's about being forever connected to this group of peers. The real honor is becoming part of a community that includes everyone, from the trailblazers who came before us, like Ann Donovan, rest in peace, and Ann Myers-Drysdale, whose faces I used to see on the walls when I visited here as a kid, to all the players still out there changing the game. And of course, to our 2025 class, Maya, Sil, Mello, Dwight, Billy, Mickey, Danny, and the 2008 men's Olympic team. I remember that Olympics well. It was a great Olympics. Both teams hanging out, winning gold. I mean, it was kind of weird how LeBron, Chris, and Dwayne kept yapping about 3-year deals with a player option, and where do you want to take your talents? Where do you want to take your talents? I don't know, I tuned it out. I'm sure Mickey could probably tell you guys about that later. But Beijing was fun, and it was so memorable, so congrats to you guys. This honor really boils down to one word that Maya, Sylvia, and I know doesn't come easy, especially in the career of a female athlete: belonging. I learned its importance early, because no matter how tough the odds, I found my footing by finding my people. And sometimes they found me. Growing up on Long Island, our 5th grade elementary school yearbook asked us to predict what we'd be when we grew up. I said a doctor, a lawyer, or a professional soccer player. 6 surgeries on my left knee, 1 on each hip, 5 broken noses later, I went on to know a lot of doctors. And lawyers, every athlete in here knows, we know a lot of lawyers too. They do all the contracts. As for professional soccer players, well, I didn't become one, but I scored one anyway. So maybe I knew more at that age than I realized. But one of the things that was pretty obvious then was that the odds of a kid from Syosset, New York, growing up to be a professional soccer player, let alone a professional basketball player, were stacked against me. Or should I say us? Billy. 2 Long Island kids, same night? That's crazy. Back then, I was playing on a boys' soccer team because they didn't have a girls' team. The year I made those yearbook predictions, the WNBA didn't even exist yet. There was no professional path, no professional league, no professional league, no obvious place for someone like me. But at every phase, there were people who made sure I knew I had a place in basketball. And that's how basketball became my home. My mom, Nancy, didn't care whether I won or lost. She just gave me the freedom and space to find my belonging. My dad, Herschel, loves the game and always challenged me to be my best, which eventually backfired when I started beating him one-on-one. And my older sister, Jen, was the first athlete and person I looked up to. And not just because she was taller at the time. She set the bar that pushed me to be better. I was playing on a local CYO team when someone approached my parents and invited me to an AAU tryout. It was life-changing. I joined the Liberty Bells, a team from Queens, shortly after, and from that point on, I was playing against the best, with the best. More than that, it was the connection of community. I'd found my fit. But even then, it wasn't automatic. My dad used to call me Peanut because when I'd go to these national tournaments, I looked tiny standing among the other girls. But that turned out to be a gift too, because I couldn't fall back on overpowering anyone physically. I had to develop my basketball IQ at a really young age to bridge that gap. By the way, don't let my last couple years in the WNBA fool you. I was fast. Sometimes they show these old highlights, and anyone knows if you play a long time, they only show your later ones. It's like, where are those young years, you know? I remember Coach Ariyama, first time he ever saw me play, he told me, you're the quickest point guard I've ever seen. I was so proud of that. And then I got to college and lost every race to Swin. Every single one. So there's always levels. Along the way, again and again, I got better, stronger, and more resilient with the help of a second family of teammates and mentors. From Coach McCarthy, who was, the dad of a kid on the team, who taught me to shoot with one hand, to my first AAU coach, Mr. McGlynn, the first but certainly not the last to yell, "Shoot the ball, Sue!" Okay, I got that a lot. From my second AAU coach who told me, don't become a player who had great potential, become a great player. To Brian Agler in Seattle, who told all of us, you can either find reasons to get things done or find excuses not to, which Megan reminded me of every time I procrastinated with these remarks. In fairness, I had a lot of speeches to write this summer. And support even came from people I didn't even really know. People who made me feel that I belonged at the moments I didn't even realize I needed to hear it. The neighborhood boys who learned I should always be the first pick at the park. Or the security guard at a St. John's University game who asked for my autograph when I was 11 years old after watching my team play at halftime, telling me, this is going to be worth something someday. Nothing quite prepares you for the first autograph request from someone who isn't related to you. Suddenly you realize other people see something in you too. Flash forward 12 years living in a new coast in Seattle where you get shunned if you jaywalk, but you're a wimp if you use an umbrella. It was an adjustment. But one day I was swimming at the gym. I went into like the pro shop to buy some new goggles. The cashier behind the desk asked my last name to pull the account up. So I said, Bird. And she goes, oh, like Sue Bird. And I was like, yeah, exactly. And she goes, what's your first name? I was like, Sue. She did a double take, gave like an embarrassed chuckle, explained that she's not a sports fan, but she watches the news. And just like that, this New Yorker felt like I belonged in Seattle. What a wild journey over 30 years to go from no league at all to a league of our own, and today the ultimate place of belonging here in Springfield. To all my teammates, coaches, friends, and family, my biggest supporter, Megan, thank you for helping me be my best. To the University of Connecticut, Coach, CD, Tanya, and Jamel, you built the foundation. To the Seattle Storm organization, you gave me a home. To everyone at USA Basketball, you gave me an opportunity to represent my country, the ultimate honor. My time in Russia, that's a different speech, but those experiences helped shape me, and I got to do it with the greatest, Diana Taurasi. To Nike, the WNBA, from Val Ackerman to Kathy Engelbert, the NBA and Adam Silver, to all the partners and sponsors who invested in women's basketball when it wasn't the popular thing to do. And to my agents and advisors who guided me through every decision, thank you for always having my back. It all really goes back to what Coach Auriemma taught me. The game itself is relatively simple. The hard part isn't knowing how to, but when to. And in my career, the biggest challenge was knowing when to reinvent myself at so many pivotal moments. Only I could do it, but I didn't do any of it alone. It was the people around me, the second family who helped me through. It was the teammates at UConn who supported me when I tore my ACL just 8 games into my freshman year, who listened to me when I was worried it was a death sentence for my career, and sat next to me on the bench when I just wanted to be out on the court. In Seattle, after arriving as the first pick of the first ever WNBA draft lottery, it was the veterans who didn't see me as a competitor, but as a 21-year-old kid just building a brand new life. They took me to breakfast, they showed me where the grocery store was, they showed me the ropes in every way. Plus, I got to team up with Lauren Jackson, who couldn't be here today, but who have been up here with these guys presenting me. It was the doctors who helped me on the road back from microfracture surgery just 2 years into my WNBA career. Another death sentence for athletes. My surgeon looked at me, literally looked at me in the eyes, and said, so from now on, when you're sliding left on defense, just don't slide like all the way left. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like, that's an impossible request. But somehow I did it, and for all of you that have been critical of my defense all those years, doctor's orders. And it was the people who helped me succeed as a player who was no longer as fast as her younger version, but could still do great things if I focused on what I could still do. It was Jenny Busek who pulled me aside and said I needed to embrace my old lady game to protect the tread on my tires and preserve what was left so it was there when we needed it. And that's when I hired my performance coach, Susan Borchard, because sometimes you need someone to focus on the how-to when you're so focused on the when-to. Because I knew they believed in me, it helped me believe in myself too. Through injuries, fighting Father Time, or as I like to joke, just trying to tie him, weathering the ups and downs from the Storm's rebuild when I was much closer to the end of my career than the beginning, and wondering if I'd ever even make the playoffs again, to winning the championship 2 more times. With the help from back-to-back #1 picks, Brianna Stewart and Jewel Lloyd. Love you guys, thank you for that. That's when I learned that belonging isn't passive, it takes work. And the same way others created it for me, I wanted to create it for the next generation coming up, like for my young nieces, Zoe and Alex, who are here today. Each of you helped this point guard get the most out of the chip on my shoulder in the game that values scoring above all, motivating me to prove people wrong and find my footing in whatever moment found me. Sometimes that meant stepping up as a scorer, other times it meant facilitating, and eventually it meant growing up from a behind-the-scenes leader to someone comfortable using her voice for what she believes in. At every step, it all came down to this. I couldn't have found my place if I wasn't lucky enough to find my people. Thanks for being the people who decided that in a when-to game, it was always the right time to make me feel like I belonged. This Hall of Fame induction isn't just about individual achievement. It's about joining a community where I'll always belong, a belonging that can never be taken away. In other words, I'll close with something point guards don't often get to say. Thank you for the assist.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
First quarter, second quarter, just trying to get the kinks out. Kid to Melo. Back to Boss. Oh, that was beautiful. The play of the game. The Americans collaborate on a beautiful deuce. You're never going to thread the needle with that pass against these Americans. Kobe to LeBron. Are you kidding me? What a dunk by LeBron. Rebound to Paul. Interesting. That time they went under the screen. That's nice. Oh, and Kobe reverses it home. The feed from LeBron James. Here's Dwayne Wade. They got a 3-on-1. Wade back to Howard. Woo-hoo-hoo. I don't know that you can get up much higher than that. And a nice hoop from Karam Ganlu. Bringing Turkey within 28. Dwayne Wade! You've got to be kidding me with that one. He just stares at the crowd here in the crowd. Neither has played that great here today. Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul in a 2-on-1. Wade gave it to Paul so he could do that. Another windmill from Dwayne Wade, and the pass from Paul was awesome. J.R. Holden with the miss, and LeBron James up ahead to Kobe. He turns around and jams in Shanghai.
Sue Bird with her first points as a Seattle Storm.
With the first pick, the Seattle Storm select Sue Bird from the University of Connecticut.
It's a new chapter. You know, being that it is Seattle, I gotta tell you, I'm very excited.
Bird again, she's feeling it. Sue Bird is back in the zone. Are you kidding me?
Sue Bird, all-time leading assist leader in WNBA history.
The all-time leading scorer in Seattle Storm history.
She's been the ultimate champion, the ultimate competitor.
When the question is asked, who is the most accomplished athlete in Seattle sports history, there's one answer: Sue Bird.
Please welcome back to the stage the chairman of the Board of Governors for the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, Jerry Colangelo.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. On this stage are some of the absolute best and brightest stars the game of basketball has ever known, whose careers and contributions are to be honored here in the Hall of Fame. And now they take their well-deserved place in history. Sylvia Fowles, Dwight Howard, Mickey Arison, Danny Crawford, Maya Moore, the 2008 Olympic team, Billy Donovan, Carmelo Anthony, and Sue Bird. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it is my honor to officially declare that you are hereby enshrined as the newest members of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. To the class of 2025, we say congratulations for all you have accomplished, and thank you for all that you have meant for our game.
It has been another beautiful evening spent celebrating the history of the game where it all began here in Springfield. We'd like to thank you all for being a part of it, and that concludes the 2025 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame enshrinement ceremony. Good night, everybody. Please get home safely.